Let's be clear about what's going on with Taeyoung and Jungkook. Many people continue to ignore the obvious, even though it's all right in front of them. Many ideas are generated on social media, some true and others simply made up. But if we look closely at the facts, we notice that there are clear signs that confirm what many already know: Jungkook and Taeyoung have a special and strong relationship. For example, in a 2023 interview, when Jimin was talking to Namjoon, he clearly mentioned that he was still single and not in love. It wasn't something said halfway, but a direct statement. More recently, during a live broadcast in front of Jungkook, Jimin said the same thing again, that he's still waiting for the perfect person. That explained why he sang the song Who at that time. It wasn't because he had special feelings for Jungkook, but because the song expresses how he feels about not having found someone with whom he has a true connection. However, many people interpreted that situation differently, as if there was something romantic between Jimin and Jungkook. This is unfounded, as Jimin himself was clear, he's not in love and is still waiting for someone he can truly connect with. Not everything that happens between members of the group means romance. Sometimes, it's simply friendship and camaraderie. However, when it comes to Jungkook and Taeyoung, things are different. Their relationship has been consistent, close, and full of details that often go unnoticed, but that speak for themselves. For years, the two have shown a special connection that goes beyond what is commonly seen between co-workers or friends. Whether in interviews, presentations, or even on social media, it's clear they share something deeper. Recently, we've seen several signs that demonstrate how strong their relationship remains. One of the most talked about was the new profile picture Jungkook chose for his personal Instagram account, which is related to something meaningful to both of them. Furthermore, it's been noted that Taeyoung maintains a very particular style of clothing, which is often connected to Jungkook's tastes. This way of being present in the smallest details is something that many fans have identified over time. And we can't forget what happened in the most recent live. Jungkook appeared using Taeyoung's Instagram account on his phone, which is no small feat. This made it clear that there's a very high level of trust between them, something you don't see every day. These kinds of gestures show that they share more than just a common friendship, they share intimate moments, decisions, and personal spaces. The interesting thing is that they never make an effort to hide these gestures. It's not something forced or a performance for the fans. They do it naturally, without explanation, as if it were part of their daily lives. That's precisely what makes many people believe their relationship is authentic. It's true that some prefer to deny this reality or change the meaning of what is seen, but when you look closely, it's clear that the connection between Jungkook and Taeyoung goes beyond a simple friendship. It's a relationship based on the mutual support, trust, and affection they've shown over the years. Even when they're apart, they stay connected in different ways, using similar references on social media, sharing common interests, and reacting naturally to each other's gestures. They've built a relationship that remains strong, no matter what others say or try to interpret. Love doesn't always need to be explained with words, sometimes, it just needs to be experienced. That's what happened when Taeyoung and Jungkook appeared live. They didn't speak about love directly, but everything they did spoke volumes. It was evident in every gesture, every glance, every small smile they shared. Taekook doesn't need grand speeches, they communicate with a connection that goes beyond words. That day, Taeyoung wore red, as if he were water seeking the warmth of fire, and Jungkook had his nails painted blue, as if he were fire seeking the coolness of water. Together, they were like two parts that completed each other, that needed each other. In that moment, Taeyoung touched Jungkook's cheeks in such a natural way, like someone who knows every part of the other person. They laughed like children, carefree, happy to share time together. They played and joked around as if the world wasn't watching, but the world was watching them. And although they didn't say anything directly about their relationship, we could all feel it. That day was special, it seemed like time had stopped just for them. They shared a small piece of their private world with everyone, and that gesture was stronger than any public declaration. They showed a pure, sincere love that doesn't need to be shouted out to be noticed. It was a silent language, one that only those who truly love each other can understand. Jungkook, during the broadcast, approached Taeyoung naturally, as if he were in his favorite place. He touched him with affection, with respect, like someone who knows every corner of the other person's soul. Their closeness wasn't forced, it flowed easily, as if it were part of their routine. And although many times they've tried to separate them, although some people still don't accept who they are, they've already made a decision. The decision to be together, to support each other, to share moments and show them to the world without fear, because, although some may see it as a game, those who pay attention know there's something deeper. You don't have to be an expert to realize what's between them, you just have to see how they search for each other, even in silence. Taeyoung and Jungkook don't need to declare their love with words, they already do it with their actions. And that, for many, is more than enough. Their way of being together, of caring for and supporting each other, is something that speaks for itself. It's not about exaggerating or imagining things, it's about looking closely. Of noticing the way Jungkook calms down when he's next to Taeyoung, or how Taeyoung smiles differently when he sees Jungkook. These are small, but very powerful details. It's a relationship built with time, affection, and respect. A relationship they've decided to maintain, despite the comments, despite external decisions, despite the obstacles. And although they never say it out loud, every time we see them, every time they share a moment in front of the cameras or off, they are telling the clearest truth of all, that they love each other. That their story doesn't need to be explained, only lived. And even though some still don't understand it, it doesn't change what they feel. In many of the videos where Taeyoung and Jungkook appear together, there's something immediately noticeable, even if it's not expressed in words. It's as if they're always connected by a special energy. Sometimes, just seeing the way they look at each other, the way they move, or the way they react to each other is enough to understand that their relationship goes beyond a simple friendship. There's such a strong connection between them that it seems they don't need to speak to understand each other. It doesn't matter how many people are around or how many cameras are recording. They always seem to find themselves in their own space, as if the world has become smaller and only the two of them exist. When one takes a step, the other follows suit without hesitation. When one reaches out a hand, the other is already there to receive it. They don't do it as if they have to think about every move, they do it because it comes naturally to them. Fans have long noticed this connection. Taeyoung and Jungkook don't need grand gestures to show how they feel. Sometimes, a simple look between them speaks louder than 1,000 words. Their relationship is made up of those small moments that, when combined, form something very special. In some videos, you can see them standing in the middle of a group of people, yet they still manage to catch each other's eye. Maybe they're rehearsing, traveling, or just walking together, but there's something about the way they look for each other that draws your attention. It's as if they always know where the other is. If Taeyoung stops to look at something, Jungkook does too. If Jungkook laughs at something, Taeyoung usually laughs too, almost at the same time. It's not just a coincidence, it's a kind of connection that goes deeper. Even if they never say it openly, their actions speak volumes. These are details that not everyone notices, but they're there. For example, the way they take care of each other at concerts, on trips, or even during interviews. They're always attentive to each other, and it's clear they know each other very well. They don't need to speak to know what the other is thinking or feeling. Sometimes, with just a gesture, you can say so much. The most beautiful thing is that this way of relating continues no matter the place. Over time, their relationship has grown. It's clear they've learned a lot from each other. Jungkook, although sometimes more reserved, seems comfortable around Taeyoung. And Taeyoung, who has a very expressive personality, seems to find peace with Jungkook. Together they balance each other out. They don't need to change to like each other, they simply accept each other as they are. In many moments captured on camera, you can see their movements are in sync. If they're dancing, they follow each other seamlessly. If they're walking, their steps match. If one turns their head, the other is already looking in the same direction. It may seem simple, but when it's repeated so many times, you begin to notice there's something deeper behind it. It's not just habit, but trust and affection. There are also situations where they share private jokes, where they laugh at things only they understand. They are brief moments that reveal their relationship is filled with shared memories. They're like invisible signs that only they can read. Perhaps it's a hand gesture, a word spoken in a certain way, or a fleeting glance.